This is a continuation of Chapter 16. This is Part 2. We're at the top. Something fell over and broke. Felicia grabbed his hand. Matt knew what Celia was talking about. Tamlin must have told her about the hidden oasis. Matt hadn't considered taking Maria there, and he certainly couldn't do it now with everyone hunting for him. They could be outside, murmured Felicia, and she manipulated the image to show the stables, the swimming pool, the gardens. Matt was startled to see the lotus pond and a pair of ibises lazily stretching their wings. "Let me see," whispered Maria. Matt moved to one side and pressed his ear to the wall so he wouldn't miss anything. "Remember this?" said Felicia, slow, insinuating voice. "That's where Furball got snuffed, isn't it?" said Tom. Maria gasped. Matt realized they must be looking at the pump house. "You know, I saw the little beast that day," said Felicia. "Furball?" said Tom. Felicia giggled. "I meant the clone. I saw wonderful and talented Matt sneaking out of the Mendoza apartment with a dog in the bag. What's going on, I thought, so I followed him." There was a pause, and then Tom said, "Amazing! You can see inside." "The cameras aren't everywhere. El Patron used to watch everything, but now he's too old. He turned the job over to a security team, and they don't bother unless there's visitors. I spend a lot of time in here. It's so cold. The machines are more efficient near freezing. I wear a coat and I hardly notice," said Felicia. Matt could believe that. She was so drugged she probably wasn't much warmer than poor El Viejo in his casket. "Did you see Matt kill the dog?" Tom asked eagerly. So I'm going to pause there and say, all of you who thought Tom did it were wrong. Matt was startled. Why was Tom asking that question when he himself had done the crime? Maria's body wriggled with indignation. Matt hoped she wouldn't forget herself and yell at them. "Matt didn't do it." Maria flinched as though she'd been stung. "Oh, he had the Landium," Felicia went on, "but he didn't use it." "Don't tell me the dog found the bottle and offed himself." "Oh, no." Felicia fell silent. "So, at this time, who do you think killed Furball? We know Matt didn't do it. We now have the evidence that Tom didn't do it. So what character is acting like she knows more?" "Yep, Felicia." Sometimes it took her several minutes to marshal her thoughts and continue a conversation. Matt wished he could see what was happening, but he had no chance of prying. My apologies. Matt wished he could see what was happening, but he had no chance of prying Maria away from that peephole now. "I went to the lotus pond," Felicia said finally. "I was so angry at how they treated you at the birthday party. I wanted to kill that abomination El Patron keeps at his heels." Matt felt cold. He had no idea how much Felicia hated him. "But I had to be satisfied with that filthy, slavering rat Maria called a dog. I keep a small amount of Landium for my nerves." "She keeps out enough to wipe out a city," Matt thought. "So I poured one of my bottles on the hamburger and the idiot clone left behind. 'Come here, Furball,' I called. I didn't want to leave him his bag, but I dumped him out on the meat, and he ate the whole thing." "How long did it take him to die?" Tom asked. But Matt never heard the answer. Maria slid to the floor, and he immediately went to her side. She didn't make a sound, but her body trembled, and she turned her head from side to side in agony of grief. "He didn't suffer," Matt whispered as he held her. "He didn't even know what was happening." Maria clung to him, her face streaked by a bar of light from the flashlight Matt had propped against the wall. Finally, she calmed down enough for Matt to check up on Tom and Felicia and see what they were doing, but they were gone, and the viewing screen was shrouded in plastic. He led her back along the passage. Maria said nothing. Matt didn't know what to do. They hadn't gone far before he saw a large shape holding a flashlight coming toward them. This was hardly room for the shape to fit between the walls. "You utter fools," said Tamlin in a low voice. "The whole house is buzzing like a rooty beehive." "How'd you find us?" asked Matt. "El Patron told me about this passage. He guessed you'd somehow found it. Darn it, Matt, Maria's had enough grief out of you." "Felicia poisoned Furball," Maria said. "What are you talking about?" as Tam Lin was clearly startled. "I heard her talking to Tom. She was so happy about it. I didn't know what people could be that evil." Maria looked like a wraith in her black dress. Her face was ashen. "You need to lie down," said Tam Lin. "I'll take you out through El Patron's study. He'll say you were in there the whole time. He thinks this is pretty amusing, but Senator Mendoza doesn't think it's funny at all. Again, so we can pause there and know El Patron gets really, amused by these little things that are going on, when in reality, when he was younger, it was a lot different." "Oh, Dada," Maria said, as though she just remembered she had a father. "Matt, you wait a few minutes in here. When the coast is clear, come out, wherever you went in," said the bodyguard. "The music room," said Matt. "I should have guessed it. Maria's hat was in there." "Matt," said Maria, pulling away from Tam Lin for a moment, "you let me forgive you for something you hadn't done." "A little extra forgiveness never hurts," he said, quoting one of Celia's favorite sayings. "You probably liked letting me make a perfect idiot of myself," she said with a flash of her old spirit. "I'd never think you were an idiot," said Matt. "Anyhow, I'm sorry I was unfair to you." "We can't stay here," said Tam Lin. "I expect you to keep your promise to be good," she went on, looking at Matt. "Okay," he replied. "And Brother Wolf, I'll miss you." And this time Maria let Tam Lin hurry her down the passage. Matt listened for her footsteps to die away in the distance.